Hello friends, you are watching Haryali Online. Today in Haryali Online, I am going to share the very beautiful plant with you. You must recognize this plant. This is the Dischidea. The variety of Dischidea which I am going to share with you, this is the Dischidea Oiantha variegated. Dischidea Oiantha variegated is called the white diamond plant also. Dischidea Oiantha. It is a trailing epiphyte in the family of Apocynaceae. It natives from the tropical areas of China, India and Philippines. And the leaves of Dischidea Oiantha are very fleshy, oval in shape with white edges. Dischidea Oiantha variegated or variegata blooms with clusters of tiny white flowers located at the nodes of stems. Because Dischidea Oiantha plant looks very beautiful in hanging baskets, in hanging even you whatever you have, baskets, planter, very lightweight planter, but it looks very beautiful. As you can see here, this is not the basket, but I have used this planter as a hanging. The very amazing thing which I am going to share you, that Dischidea is closely related to its sister genus Hoya. It means that this is the sister plant of Hoya plant. Because it has the lots of resemblance in its characteristics, like the propagation, like the growing speed, the environment, everything is very much closely related to the Hoya plant. That's why this is called the sister plant of Hoya plant. The very important thing which I'm going to share with you here, which you must know, that avoid contact with Dischidea sap, as it is so toxic and it could be cause of irritation. If you pluck any leaf, if you break any branch, then you will find some sap in white color. Don't touch it because this is very harmful for your skin. Especially harmful in this way if you have the very sensitive skin. These leaves of Dischidea which you can see, these are the simple Dischidea. Here I am going to share the sunlight, the placement of this plant. So with this I will define the light and humidity and temperature too. Dischidea Oiantha variegata, its light requirement is so quite flexible and ranges from indirect light, bright filtered light to semi-shade. You can also grow Dischidea Oiantha variegata under full spectrum grow lights. In this case, it can be placed even in darker corners of your living spaces. Leave grow lights on at night a few times a week. Not on daily basis, but sometime in a week you can do. Dischidea, as you know, being a tropical plant, thrives in humid air. Humidity needs to be at least 40%. The higher, the better. And if I share the temperature for this plant, so do remember Dischidea Oiantha variegata requires temperature above 12 degrees centigrade during winter and up to 32 degrees centigrade in summer. Now I don't need to say, as I keep saying in my every video, that all the plants remains very happy in cluster in the plant family, not necessarily related to the same family, but it is important you have to make some cluster of some different varieties of plant. They will remain very happy. The variety which you can see at this time, this is the Dischidea plain. This is not the Dischidea Oiantha. Some different varieties which I have shared here to show you. On my rooftop garden, you know, I have a jungle of Dischidea plain. When I was shooting this video, I forgot to hang these beautiful chains, which I especially kept it in my room. But when I was doing some work here, I forgot to show you here. So at night, I have again set all of them to show you. In these seashells, you can see how much nice growing. If I talk about the water schedule for this plant, so Dischidea Oiantha variegata needs moderate watering. The soil must be kept slightly damp all the time. So what can you do for this? You have to mist your plant on daily basis. Not for the Oiantha, all the varieties of Dischidea require the same water schedule. So you can mist your plant on daily basis. While misting, while showering, your soil media will get some drops of water. It will be enough for daily basis. When you mist your plant on daily basis or when you shower your plant on daily basis, your leaves remains happy, healthy, fresh, neat and clean, and they feel so fresh. It is very good for your plant health too, and it makes your environment so healthy, so beautiful and green. Now I'm going to share about this soil media. Before sharing the soil media, do remember one thing. The soil media which I'm going to share with you, not necessarily it is perfect for you. The soil media which you are getting from the Google, it doesn't mean that that is the perfect for your plant, because you must know the fact where you are living. The climate of that area matters a lot. To get the good result with any plant, I have experiences a lot. The new growth of my this plant you can see in this small container. I will tell you what I have used. In this pot which you can see at this time, I have used here coco peat, coco chung, perlite, pumice, compost and little bit garden soil. Why I have used the garden soil? Because when I was shifting this plant into it, this plant was not getting set because all the ingredients were very light in weight. So for making some cake look, I have used the garden soil and it is giving me the good response. In this very tall hanging basket, I have used compost, garden soil and coco peat. The mixture of three ingredients I have used in it and you can see the growth. Some more my planters on my rooftop garden. There I have used lots of charcoal and the rice husk. In all my planters I am getting the very good result because I have good command of its water schedule. So it means if you want to see your Dischidea plant happy, healthy like this, so you have to have command on your water schedule. Do remember this plant can survive without water but can't survive with lots of water. In my these hangings you can see what media I have used. Very nicely Dischidea Oiantha variegata is being grown in it. Very little quantity of head of coconut I have used here. When I spray on this, it remains moist. It provides the good moisturizer how much need this plant, and you can see the very nicely all the plants are growing in it. One hand it is looking very beautiful, one hand this is the very beautiful hangings, another hand these are the very beautiful small container or planter of my Dischidea. The plain Dischidea in my this planter, which is not the planter but I have used, which is looking very beautiful, and you can see the head of coconut in it. The important thing is this, which you should notice. The very less quantity of media has been used in all hangings and plants are growing very well. It means this plant does not require lots of water, this plant does not require the extra soil media, but it requires your observation, your focus on plant. If I talk about the fertilization for this plant, you can fertilize Dischidea Oiantha variegata during summer using its favorite fertilizers. You can also soak Dischidea Oiantha in weekly diluted fertilizers, or you can spray also to get the high foliage. Dischidea Oiantha variegata is an epiphyte. It absorbs a lot of nutrition with little roots growing along with the stem. So you can provide extra source of nutrition for Dischidea. This way will boost its growth. Now, how will you have the extra source of nutrition? For this purpose, you have the very simple and organic formula. The cow dung compost is the solution for every problem. Make the tea of cow dung compost and now dilute into the water and spray. You can also pour once in a week that fertilized water. This is the very good for your plant growth. One another thing, seaweed extract. You can also use in diluted form the seaweed extract. These both fertilizers are enough for good growth. Now some propagation tips for this plant. Dischidea plant can be grown easily by stem cutting. It is grown very good in humidity. It develops roots along its stem. You can see these are some roots which are grown very nicely. Take stem cuttings which already have some roots and secure them horizontally on soil surface, ensuring roots made contact with soil. Water it and put the pot in the clear plastic bag and place it in a warm bright place. Keep an eye on the Dischidea Oiantha variegata cuttings to make sure the soil stays damp. When you see any growth in that bag, you can gradually opening the bag and letting the plant adjust to new humidity levels over a week or two. The another way of propagation is by leaf. Easily this plant can be propagated by leaf, but this process is very slow. That's why normally we suggest to grow by stem cutting. Here I have grown by leaf, so you can see the very well rooted area has been growth inside the cocopeat, inside this soil media. It has spent too much time but hasn't started its branch. Neither these are getting yellow nor these are giving me new branches. That's why I'm saying this process is very slow. Now this planter is hanging, it's not taking any space especially. That's why I have left it to be grown silently. So now finally I have searched out a leaf which has very small root area. That's why very easily this leaf has come out from the cocopeat. How beautiful this leaf is looking with little part of root system. Actually this is the proper plant, but it has not started its growth. That's why it does not have any branch, but in future this is the proper plant. My dear friends, you can spray the neem oil in 15 days to avoid the insect attack. So my dear friends, I have tried here to share everything regarding this plant, that how to fertilize, how much sunlight does it require, what soil media could be best for this plant, how to keep this plant healthy, happy with a full growth at your home. If you have any query regarding this plant, you can comment me. Take the very best care of yourself. Have greenery around you. Take care. Bye bye.